Hey everyone, welcome back to Fan Talk. Obviously, I'm in a very different place right now. With March Madness going on, I've been watching games all day today and yesterday, so I haven't taken much time to step away and to do it in the studio. And it's been a crazy couple last weeks. Obviously, last week an episode didn't air. I was gonna do a cool little episode down in Las Vegas when I was covering the Mountain West tournament as a journalist. However, I had no voice. I had, sore throat and I could barely speak. One of my duties down there was to make some promotional videos for the school, and I could barely speak. So if you saw those videos, then that's probably why I sounded like a smoker or sounded like, um, I was 98 years old and couldn't speak at all, because that was the case. My voice is a little better now. I am feeling a little better now, so that's good. But obviously, a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks since I posted my last video. So in this video, it's just gonna be very brief. I'll kind of catch you up on, kind of my thoughts and impressions, being there at the Mountain West tournament as a journalist slash reporter, and then talk a little bit about the crazy 2 days of March Madness that have happened, so far. So I'll start with Las Vegas. I'll go back a little bit to last week. And so I went down to the Mountain West tournament to, I would be with student media with the school here, and so I went down. I had a media pass and got to watch a lot of games courtside, and then to interview players afterwards. Kind of my biggest takeaways is Mountain West, very competitive conference. A lot of good teams, a lot of good players, a lot of players that care too. I think in general, for the most part, you see players that care in college basketball a little more than the pros and have, a little more emotion and investment in it. But I was able to see that, in person and up close there at the tournament. As I would talk with players and coaches after the games, it was very apparent that, they really wanted to be here, especially those teams that knew that, this was their last run. Like unless they won their tournament, they weren't going to the NCAA tournament, so they were giving it everything they had and putting it all out on there on the court, and nothing to lose. It's a new opportunity. That was really fun. It was cool to be there and to witness that. And then obviously Mountain West, their championship game, the men's game was broadcasted on CBS, and some of their semifinals games as well. So I got to be there. I actually got to meet Andrew Catalan, a broadcaster for CBS. He does NCAA basketball as well as some golf and NFL football during the football season. Kevin Harlan was there as well. I didn't get to meet him, but I was 10 feet away from him there at the media desk. I just got to see some greats in that aspect and some great basketball. San Diego State won the men's tournament, and they beat Utah State. Utah State had a great run, made it into the NCAA tournament. Actually, four teams, made it into the NCAA tournament. San Diego State obviously got the automatic bid. Utah State, Boise State both got in as 10 seeds, and then Nevada stole, the last four in and got in as an 11 seed. But then obviously lost in the play-in game to Pittsburgh there. Excuse me, not Pittsburgh, Arizona State. But yeah, four teams represented from the Mountain West. Really fun conference to watch. Got to watch a lot of cool players. And and then I got back and had to come back to school and back to reality. And here I am doing that. But let's talk about the NCAA tournament last 2 days. Unless I saw a stat today, and this was the start of today, 181 perfect brackets left out of 20 million that were created by ESPN accounts. So if you're one of those 181, then good for you. But I'm not. I started off pretty good, but it's just so hard to predict upsets. That Furman upset, taking down Virginia. I did pick that in one of my brackets. I made 7 brackets. So pretty much every matchup I am at least getting it right at least once. But it's really hard to just pick it all right in the same bracket. So that Furman game, knocking out Virginia. I think Virginia is kind of a cursed team. They lost to UMBC all those years ago. It was, the only 16-1 upset in men's tournament history. And then, that Princeton game over Arizona, who saw that coming? I definitely did not. I picked it in one bracket out of the 7, but crazy there. Arizona's now done and the 2 seeds out, and Princeton's moving on and has a chance to go to the Sweet 16, and that's really cool. I was really impressed with Alabama. I was really impressed with Creighton. They just played today. Really impressed with Marquette. And really impressed with Duke. These are some teams that are looking strong and, have a shot to go all the way. Houston played a good game. Their player, Sazer, is back. He injured himself in that game late in the season against Cincinnati, but he's back. So some good-looking teams, moving into the tournament. It's hard to say who's really going to come out on top. I'd like to say Alabama is still kind of my favorite right now. Kansas is a really good pick as well. Purdue's playing right now against Fairleigh Dixon. I think they'll have a fairly good shot at taking them out. But it's fun. It's been awesome these last 2 days. I'm in a couple, brackets with friends, a couple groups with friends and family. And so it's a good time to be alive. Unfortunately, the school I go to is knocked out of the tournament already. But, it's basketball, right? You find a team to root for, especially if you got, money on the line, or if you have bragging rights, even as simple as that. So that's kind of my recap for this week. Obviously, a lot's going to happen in the next week. I'll probably take a more slow approach and break down things, go back to the normal format as episodes. I just wanted to make sure I released something this week due to the crazy circumstances of last week, and to put out some stuff here for Fan Talk. So as always, find me Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Fan Talk, Kyle Brenchley. Thanks, guys, for indulging me on this quick episode. And go watch some basketball.